work inside individual classrooms and labs and shops and things to make sure that happens. Our deans will talk a little bit about that as we go through this as well, the specific kinds of things that they're doing within their programs in their areas. There's a lot of disinfection and cleaning going on constantly at the institution. We're gearing up with additional methods of doing that within classrooms and just in the facilities as a whole. So we've got a lot of things in place to make sure that we're cleaning everything as thoroughly as we can. But one of the things that it's really, everybody needs to kind of get their head wrapped around is the different approaches that we're using in our classrooms, because things are going to be significantly different inside the classroom for those that are returning to face-to-face classes. So it's going to be a little bit challenging for folks, but I think we've got a really good system in place. I feel really confident that we've worked through a lot of the details and things to make sure that we're as safe as possible and get folks back in the classroom and meet the needs of our students in the process of doing that. So I know that the individual deans are going to talk a little bit more specifics about how this stuff works, but for me and for the rest of the leadership here at the college, we're just beyond excited to have folks coming back to our campus and back in the classroom. So thank you very much for joining us today, and I'm looking forward to hearing what the deans have to say as well.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hayes. Next, we're actually going to talk to, like you said, some of our deans here at SCC. We're going to get an idea of the things they're doing to help prepare for our fall semester. And each slide shown on the screen will have their contact information, so you can take a picture or a screenshot for later. And this open house is also being recorded, so you can go to our website and watch it again, or you can share it with someone who may be interested later. I'd first like to welcome Nancy Powell. Nancy is the Dean of Health Sciences here at SCC. She coordinates with all of our health and medical programs. Thanks for joining us, Nancy.
You're welcome, Melissa, and thank you very much for having me.
I don't know where I stopped, but Nancy, can you tell us how we're preparing for the classroom, lab, and the clinical instructions for this semester?
Can you hear me now, Melissa?
We can now. Yeah, something must have happened here.
Yeah, I got kicked out on my tablet that I was using, and it could happen again. So just bear with me.
That's okay.
Anyway,
I got kicked off
Let me start again.
No problem.
We have 10 health sciences programs that are selective admissions programs. And so if you are planning to apply to get into one of those programs, you need to follow the process and apply by the deadline. And we have that information on our website, but I welcome anybody who's listening who would like to call me. I'll be happy to give them that information as well. In addition to that, we are making plans to teach our classes with a capacity in each classroom that will allow us to social distance, and that will mean that some students may be planning to take a class on a certain day, and the other group of students for that class will come a different day. We also have moved some of the amount of the material to an online format. And the clinicals are the portions of our courses that we depend upon our clinical affiliates. And they are just now letting students come back into the clinical affiliates since February, in March, when they closed access because of the pandemic. We do expect, our plans are to have clinicals in the fall semester. We have a contingency plan if something happens that we are all asked to go virtual, then we will do what we did in the spring semester, and we may have to wait until clinical sites open. We will work from distance as much as we can, and we will work with the students in trying to get them to progress through their different processes. We do have a couple of programs that have online pre-admission conferences. That is our ADN program, our radiography program, our surge tech program, and EMS paramedic. If you're interested in one of these programs, one of the requirements is not only to apply by the deadline, but you have to attend a pre-admission conference, either online or in person. The other 6 programs have in-person pre-admission conferences. If you are wanting to apply but are concerned that the COVID-19 might put a wrench in your education, I would recommend that you feel free to call me. My number's up on the screen, and we can discuss that. You might be amazed that of all the students that should have graduated in May 2020 in the health sciences area, we only have a handful that had to wait on clinicals in order to, it's less than 10 that had to wait in order to complete their clinical requirements and be able to graduate. So, and we are working with those students right now to get that step completed for them.
Yeah,
and if there's anything you'd like to know, feel free to ask me.
Okay, and that's great to know, that we're still working with the students who maybe are just waiting on a clinical site, and, we're not going to leave them by themselves. We're going to continue to work for them until they graduate.
Yes, by all means.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Nancy, for helping clarify some unknowns for some people. Like she said, if you're interested or you have any questions, you can feel free to email or give Nancy a call. Next, I'd like to welcome.
And this is how we'll all look.
Exactly. We're getting used to that, aren't we? Everywhere we go now.
Yes, we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. And next, I'd like to welcome John Berlew. He's our Dean of Arts and Sciences. Welcome, John.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Somerset Community College.
Thank you. And John, we'd like to get an idea about from what your division is doing to prepare SCC's reopening and beginning of the fall semester. So first, can you tell us about the classes that are actually offered under the Arts and Sciences division?
The Arts and Sciences division primarily is the general education classes that students take here at Somerset Community College. So we're talking about all your English classes, all your psychology classes, math and science, all of those general education classes are in the Arts and Sciences division.
Okay, great. Can you talk about online offerings versus face-to-face classes specifically for the upcoming semester?
Absolutely. It's been really, as you can imagine, it's been a challenge working on the fall schedule and making sure that the classes are there for the students who need them, and they're in a mode or format that the students are comfortable with and can use. So we have a very robust online schedule. Many of our courses, almost all of our courses, are available in an online format if you're comfortable doing that and taking your courses that way. We also have a very, very full face-to-face schedule, which sounds kind of strange in a pandemic, but we've got some pretty smart people here in our Arts and Sciences division, and they've all been working together to figure out how we can offer those face-to-face classes in a safe and healthy way. One of the things that we have done is we look like we're getting ready to lay carpet or something. We've got our measuring tapes out, and we're measuring every inch of every classroom on all of our campuses and centers to make sure that we do not put too many students or even faculty, even the instructors, in those classes so that we can't social distance. Every single class that we have, the individuals in that class will be able to social distance without any issues at all. And similar to what Nancy was saying just a moment ago about the allied health classes, we have split some of our classes as well so that you'll never be cramped up in those classes. You should be able to social distance and be safe and healthy without any problem at all. One of the things that we're doing this fall that is new and something that we're kind of excited about is what we call synchronous online learning. So if you are currently enrolled in a face-to-face class, you will have the opportunity in that class to participate from home. That instructor will be online if you have a 2 o'clock class on Monday, Wednesdays, for example. You will be able to, from home, if you have to work from home, maybe you're high risk and are not able to get out, maybe you're caring for a family member who is high risk and you're not able to get out and come to campus, that's no problem at all. If you do have that Monday, Wednesday, 2 o'clock class, you'll be able to log on to the class and participate back and forth with your instructor through Teams or Blackboard Collaborate. And that's just one of the opportunities, one of the new things that we're doing to meet the needs of our students and to make sure that the students are safe and healthy. That's number one. But they're getting a great education. And these gen ed classes that we're talking about, they're presented by just I think, the best instructors on the planet. Just fantastic instructors, and they transfer everywhere. So if you were thinking about going off to a university somewhere across the state or across the country or across the world, and gosh, with this pandemic, you just don't feel comfortable doing that, you can take the courses here at Somerset Community College and they will transfer anywhere. So we want you to be safe and healthy. We want you to have really, really good classes, and we want you to be comfortable doing that. We want you to feel good about it. So if you have any questions about those things, you can see my number there on the screen. Call me anytime. I'll be happy to talk to you, answer any questions that you have. And if you have questions about what we're doing in response to the pandemic, I'll try to answer those questions as well. We want you to feel good about being at Somerset Community College here in the fall.
Absolutely.
Melissa?
And I think it's great that we're already preparing for if something were to happen, if we were have to go online, that these students will already know up front, like you said, the hybrid type class where they could actually go online just like that.
Absolutely. And I would say to the students who might be listening and watching this evening that checking that Somerset Community College email very, very often, and Melissa's talked a little bit about it, Dr. Hayes mentioned, things change, as you know, during a pandemic, things change very, very quickly. Sometimes they change from morning to afternoon. So we will keep in touch with you. Our faculty, your instructors will be communicating you through your Somerset Community College email. We also have asked our instructors to open up their Blackboard shells for any course, whether it's face-to-face or online. Every one of your courses will have a Blackboard shell. And we've asked the faculty to open those Blackboard shells a lot earlier this fall than they typically would. We've asked the faculty to open those shells on or shortly after August 1st so that they can post announcements and you can see the syllabus and they can communicate with you easier that way.
Oh, that's great. And so I guess if students do have specific questions about their class, then what's the best way they can communicate that with their instructor?
Well, prior to August 1st, call me and I'll get you in touch with the faculty member, with your instructor right away. If it's after August 1st, check that Blackboard shell, your course Blackboard shell. Your instructor's contact information will be there, their hours of availability, and they are excellent. They're very, very good about getting back with you. Leave a message for them, and they'll get back to you very, very quickly. That's the best way. Call me before August 1st if you have any questions or concerns. After August 1st, get in touch with your instructor. I guess that's next week, isn't it? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
On Monday, get in touch with your instructors and they'll help you out.
Great. Yep, it's coming up quick. So John, is there anything else you would like to tell students who are planning to maybe either come back or begin their fall semester here with us at SCC?
I guess it comes from my background as a communications instructor, but I really, truly believe the key to success, especially this fall with everything going on, is communication. Talk to your instructor, talk to your classmates, talk to Melissa and people like that. Being successful as a college student, anytime, anywhere, whatever college you go to. I hope it's Somerset Community College, but one of the keys to being successful is to network and to communicate and take advantage of the people around you that are dedicated to help you succeed. It's hard to do it by yourself. Communicate, reach out to us, and we'll help you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, John. Glad that you could join us today. Okay, next let's welcome Kevin Bradford. Kevin is the Dean of Business and Applied Technology. Thanks for joining us, Kevin.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So I'll also ask you, what are the programs that fall under the Business and Applied Technology division? You've got a lot, don't you?
Yeah, there's 20 programs in all, and it's divided into two departments. Our Business and Professional Services department has business administration, computer and information technology, cosmetology, criminal justice, culinary arts, education program, interdisciplinary early childhood education, medical information technology, and visual communications or multimedia. And those are kind of all of what we call soft tech programs. And then the career and technical education as more of the hard tech, more hands-on programs. And we have air conditioning, HVAC, automotive, aviation maintenance, computerized manufacturing and machining, construction, diesel technology, digital printing, engineering, and electronics technology, electrical technology, industrial maintenance, welding. So you can see that there's a large array of programs. And some of these programs are online only. Some are, you can adapt and do part of it online, part of it in person. And then other programs are pretty much completely in person and hands-on. And some programs are in London at the Laurel campus, some are in Somerset or both. And so my name and information is there on the screen. If you have any information about specific programs, feel free to call me.
Absolutely. And programs in your division, like you said, unless they're completely online, are generally very hands-on, where students spend quite a bit of time in their labs. So in general, how is this instruction changing from, what it normally was back maybe last year this time?
Sure. Well, a lot of the courses are online, particularly in the business and professional services area. But our in-person classes, we are trying to be flexible and ensure that we're doing things correctly during this time. Some of the other people before me have already mentioned some of the social distancing steps that we're taking, and we're making sure that we have the right number of people in that space, that lab or classroom. And so depending on the situation, that might involve rotating the lab some, like John Blue was talking about, where maybe some people will come on Monday and the other people will come on Wednesday. In those off days, you might be, depending on the class, you might be participating at home online like John was describing, or we may have you set up kind of in another room on a computer lab to where you can participate online just down the hallway, and you can still ask questions and see what's going on. Some of these classes we're using technology the best we can. There may be an instructor wearing a GoPro who's under the hood of the car in the auto tech program, and he would be demonstrating that to the rest of the class. And whether they're at home or in a lab down the hallway or whatever, they're watching and participating, asking questions without 15 people having their head under the hood of one car. So we're using the technology the best we can, and we're trying to be safe. We'll be wearing masks. We'll sanitize the equipment between use and take all those necessary precautions.
Okay, yeah, that technology is just fantastic. It's amazing at how far we've come. So that's great that we're trying to use everything that we can. How about students who may be a little bit nervous about enrolling in one of these programs because they're thinking, you know, what if we do go online at some point, and like, how would I do, let's say, welding online or culinary arts online, and you know, what would you tell them?
First off, know that we've been trying to plan this out. We planned and planned some more on all of these, and as mentioned, things are changing constantly, and we keep going back and adjusting our plans. But we have a plan in place in each and every course on how we're going to do it, how we're going to finish this course, and when we can do online, we will at times, but a lot of these programs have a requirement for hands-on, and it just makes sense that they have to be done in a hands-on environment, and we're going to do those hands-on to the extent that we can. We'll be smart about it. We'll use the virtual simulations where we need to, and we will get you through the program and through the course if you're willing to come in and put in the work, and we'll do so safely.
Absolutely, great. Do you have anything else that you'd like to tell students who will be taking classes this fall, particularly in the Business and Applied Technology division?
Well, kind of maybe sounds like a recurring theme so far, but be comfortable, be sure to know that we are taking your safety seriously. We're going through and planning and taking all the steps necessary. And whether you're pursuing a career in any of these programs that I talked about, whether it be business administration or welding or anything in between, we're the safe, affordable, local, high-quality option for you to pursue your education, and we really look forward to working with you. The only other thing I would add to that is I'd echo what John Perlew said earlier. Communication's always important between the student and the faculty, and it's going to be more so now in this environment. And if you have a problem or an issue, please let the faculty member know. Let me know as the dean over the area if you need to. But if you have a problem and we don't know, we can't help you. And the last thing we want to see is for you to go away unhappy and not have your problem resolved. Please communicate with us and give us a chance to address the issue.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you so much for coming on and talking with us and just making us feel a little bit more comfortable about starting this fall.
You're welcome.
And next we're going to talk with Jamie Evans. She's the registrar here at SCC. And thanks for joining us, Jamie.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
Good afternoon, everybody.
And Jamie's going to answer some questions, some general questions about students returning to classes on campus, and in particular about student services and how those are offered when we return. So for students coming to in-person classes, what will be required of them to attend class, and what will that process look like?
Such a great question, and a question that I think a lot of people are asking. And, you know, our fall classes are scheduled to begin on August the 17th, and like they've mentioned, it's a variety of formats, you know, whether the online, the face-to-face, or the hybrid. It's going to be very important for students to read their syllabus and to be in continuous contact with their instructors because, as we know, things can change. Mm-hmm. And when that occurs, those specific details, that's where they're going to be able to find those. But currently, we have a plan. So on the first day of classes, the student will be required to conduct just a daily self-administered temperature and health checks when they come to campus. So when they walk up to the campus doors in our buildings, they're going to see lots of signage out there. But it's important that they pay attention. You know, you really want to read those. And when we talk about, you know, self-administered temperature and health checks, we really are asking you to just take a moment to read through those questions and really be honest, because this is about your health and safety and ours. So just reading through that and making sure that you're doing that each day, but you'll be able to go on into your campus. Now, we do realize that there may be visitors on campus as well. We do have a check-in station on campus that we ask you to come to before you start walking around the campus, and we will check you in there. Everybody that does come to campus, student, faculty, staff, or if you're just a visitor, everyone will need to wear a mask or a face covering. Even, you know, in the classroom. Social distancing will also be required throughout the campus, both in class but also outside of class. Unfortunately, this is not right now a time where we can just hang out, though we would love to hang out with you. And we hope that's coming in the near future with some of our events. But for right now, we're asking that we not have those gatherings on campus and keep that traffic flowing. Classrooms have been adjusted to accommodate, so we will definitely, stay close to those guidelines and limit the number inside the classroom so that everyone does feel safe.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And how can students access like various student services, like if they need to come to admissions or financial aid, advising, the bookstore, cashiering, things like that?
And right now we are open, so we don't have to wait till classes begin. But when classes do begin on the 17th, we really feel like that students are going to be able to visit our offices without an appointment, that they'll be able to, go through that check-in station, come on in, get any services that they need, and that's what we want to do. We want to be here to help. Right now, we are asking that if you need to come to campus before classes are starting, that you call our call center. That number is 606-679-8501. And you can definitely find that number on our website. You can find it posted on all of our marketing materials. And you can call and get that appointment. And we'll be glad to have you come in and get any of the services from student services that you need, but also for your advising, so they can help you get with your advisor and make sure you have that appointment to get classes if you need them before the 17th. We also have virtual appointments. So if you're not comfortable coming to campus right now, that's okay. We set up these virtual meetings much like we're having now, and we can walk you through just about any process that you need through that virtual meeting. Again, you just call that number and set up your appointment.
Okay, wonderful. And we talked about the services. Is there going to be any limited access to services or activities that students are used to? I know we talked really no gatherings and things, but what are some of the limited access points?
Well, things are going to look a little different and be a little different, just like if you're out in your community right now. So, of course, when you think about our cafeteria and our food services on campus, that's a point where typically a lot of people would gather. Right now, that's not going to be open for food, but we do have vending machines. And we do, however, realize that the Learning Commons and that area from the cafeteria may be opened for students between classes so that they have a place that they can go and kind of sit. Sometimes you can't leave, you're waiting on a class to start, or you just need a little bit of study time. But even then, though, we are talking about looking at that social distancing and not gathering up together, but keeping your own space, and we hope that that works out really well for students so that they can access the Wi-Fi and things like that. We have other areas like our fitness center. That is still in the process of a plan. The fitness center would like to open when classes begin, and we really hope that that's what happens. They plan to follow a social distancing guideline there as well, and possibly limit the number of people that would be in the center at a given time, so everybody would have their own space. But again, if you're uncertain about those areas, it will be posted there, and then you can also give us a call on our helpline, and we'll be glad to let you know what those restrictions are.
Okay, perfect. And Jamie, is there anything else you'd like students to know about how we as a college are preparing for their return?
We know right now everything's kind of uncertain, but we're always here, and we're always here to answer those questions. And even though that answer may change from today to tomorrow, we'll be here tomorrow to answer it again, and that's okay. One of the things that we are doing, there's a lot of technology going on, and the college has been working hard to make sure that students will have Wi-Fi access. They're continuing to install outdoor Wi-Fi units that will allow for access on the campus, even if you're not going into the buildings. So they're installing those on the campuses now and at the centers. So we hope to have that completed soon, just to give that access to students. So when they fear, if what happens if my class goes online and I don't have Wi-Fi, we're going to do everything we can to help that student be successful, to give you the opportunity to complete that class, be successful, and keep moving in your education.
Perfect. That's the main thing, is that we do have a plan for things that may happen this semester. We do have a plan, and you will not be alone. So thank you very much, Jamie, for talking with us a little bit. And I just want to remind anyone who's not yet registered for a t-shirt that you can still register for a free t-shirt, and we'll get that in the mail to you. Now, if you want to come to SCC this fall, it is not too late to register. Okay, we will enroll students all the way up through the first week of classes, which is the week of August the 17th. And your first step is to complete our online application, which is on our website. From our homepage, right in the middle, you'll see this box that's on the screen, and you'll click Start Your Application. You will need a social security number, you'll need an email address for contact, and the name of your high school and any colleges that you've attended. And if you want us to send you some information and get on our email list, you can click right above that says Request Information. And also, if you'd like to schedule a tour of campus, we are still doing those individual tours with social distancing and mask requirement, but you can go ahead and click Schedule a Tour and schedule your own tour. And we're super excited to announce that we've just launched on our website. It's called My Path to Enrollment, which is a set of guided videos. They are there to guide you along the steps to getting enrolled at SCC. You can access this also through our website. Click on the Admissions tab and you'll see My Path to Enrollment. If you have any questions, we are here to help. The college's main phone number is on the slide, should be there now, 606-679-8501. And you can also email the recruiting email address. We are happy to help you with anything that you need. And we look forward to welcoming you to our SCC family. We know that things are different this semester, but we are still committed to both your health and your success as a student. So thank you for joining us. A big thanks to all the staff and faculty who've participated in Thursdays at 3 with SCC this summer. I'd also like to thank our recruiting staff who have mostly been behind the scenes making sure everything works properly, but also thank you to Candy, Crystal, and Becca for all your help. Thanks so much. We look forward to seeing you this fall here at SCC.